guest tonight.
Buongiorno, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tony, and I'm going to be sharing with you tonight a very special recipe that comes from my grandmother, down to my mother, down to me. Now, I'm going to share it with you. You're not allowed to tell anybody about it. It's a secret. So, we're going to come over here first, and I'm going to show you the ingredients that I have for the spaghetti bolognese. So, we have some salt, we have some olive oil. Now, we have minced garlic, but because of this bloody COVID-19 thing, I could not get any garlic at the supermarket, so we have to use this. I've got some minced meat. It's not the good quality one. You need to have some fat content in the minced meat. So this is the cheaper one. It's not very expensive, and it's much better to cook with this meat for the spaghetti bolognese. We've got some salt and some pepper. I've got some organic Italian diced tomatoes. It doesn't matter if they're organic or not, but I just buy them because I like them. And this is very important, Legos. You have to have the Legos tomato paste, because if you use other brand, it doesn't taste the same, okay? Now, very important, you have to have some red wine, and because I cook tonight, I have some red wine, because I like to have red wine while I cook. Very, very important. Okie dokie. What else have I got? I've got I've got some Kalamata olives. Yeah, they're Greek. I know they're Greek, but Italians are like Greek, and it's got a good flavor. And I'm going to use some of the juice as well. Now, these ones have got no pip because you can break your tooth. So let's not use those ones. Use the pitted ones. Okay. Over here also, I got the bay leaves. I've got a secret ingredient. Now, not many people know about this one, but it's very easy. This is called the sugar. It has to be the white sugar. We're going to put that in later. And again, I could not get fresh basil. I did not have any, so I bought this one here. It's still good, nothing wrong with it. It's a basil. It's just a bit dried, and it lasts for a long time. Okay. Now I have my setup here. I have one big spoon, I have 2 small spoons, and I have a wooden spoon. That's a very important tool, that one. Now, why have I have 2 small spoons? One for taste, very important to taste. The other one is for taking things out like the garlic. So, here's the spaghetti, here's the frying pan, and here's the pot of water. Now, I haven't put any salt in here yet. They say on the packet, you should put the salt in the water. Don't do it before you boil, because it stops the water boiling. So I'm going to boil the water first, and then I'm going to put the salt in. Okay, very important, I'm going to wash my hands, okay? Because of this COVID-19 thing, I'm going to just wash my hands. You've got to wash for 20 seconds. I'm just putting some soap on my hands now. And it's very important that you make sure that you wash all of your hands. The thumbs, bottoms, all over the place. The fingernails, scratching your fingernails into your palm. Get all the soap under the fingernails. You want to make sure that they're nice and clean. Now, they say 20 seconds. 20 seconds to wash your hands? I don't know, but that's what they say. So, I don't know how long this has been, but let's say that for 20 seconds. I washed them before anyway. So, what we're going to do very shortly is cut up the onion. That's very important, and I'm going to show you how to do it to make sure that the onion is nicely, finely diced, because you don't want a big chunk of onion in your spaghetti bolognese. All right, very important. Once you have washed your hands, you get a clean tea towel. You don't want to use the dirty one that's been hanging up there, because it's probably got the virus all over it. So I'm going to just make sure my hands are nice and dry, and we're going to then cut the onion. Okie dokie then. I put this away. And here I have a brown onion. And I know you say it's not brown, it's white. No, it's not. The brown is the skin. The skin is already been taken off. You don't want to see how to take the skin off, not important. So I just chop off one end, I chop off the other end, I peel off all the brown stuff, that goes in the garbage bin. Okay, so you put it on its bum like that. Nice sharp knife, has to be very sharp. Be careful not to cut yourself because you get the blood all over everything. So we're going to make one cut straight down the middle like that. Simple as that. I'll just put one in that bowl, and here we have 1/2. Now the first thing I'm going to do is turn it this way, so I got the bum here and the head here, and I'm going to now put slits. Now I don't know how you do this, but this is how I do it. It's very important to make these slits very, very thin, because you don't want a big chunk of onion. I could get all the scientific and talk about onion and how they're made and how they're constructed, but I'm not going to do that, because you'll see in a moment that by doing it this way, it works. Okay, I got those slits. I did not go all the way through, so it's still in one piece. Now I'm going to turn it on one side, and again, hold it very tight on the ends, and I'm just going to do this. So notice I have my fingers away from the blade, and I'm just cutting away. Once you get to one point, you're going to have a bit of a knob hang on off at the end. Just throw it away. You don't want that piece. Oh, look, it's going everywhere. Okay, next piece, same. So we're going to cut the slits. Notice I'm using my thumb just to guide where I want the knife to go. Very important that you do that, because this way you get a nice uniform slice. And here we go, nearly done. And I go a bit fast now. This is a bit boring, this part, but it's a very important part. This is where the flavor comes from. A lot of the flavor comes from the onion. Of course, if you had a real garlic, not the minced one, you would be chopping that one up next. And look, that one just has to be sliced and diced, and that's not very important. Throw away the bum. Okie dokie. Now, you'll see, once I do this, because of the way the onion is constructed, it's going to just fall apart, hopefully. Once I put it in the pan and I start to fry, then you'll see what I mean. So we put all this in here. One onion go a long way. I'm cooking for about 4 people here. So everything I'm doing tonight is for 4 people. You'll have some leftovers, I'm sure. Oh, I just cut it myself. Look at that. Silly me. I need the blue Band-Aid. Did you get the blue Band-Aid? Okay, so Christine, could you get me a blue Band-Aid and we keep it going? Hello again, everybody. I just come back from the hospital and I didn't have any blue Band-Aid, so they put me on my blue glove. But there's a bloody other Band-Aid there, that's all right. So, in a minute we're going to fry the onion and we're going to fry the garlic. So before we do that, I come over here to the stove and I'm going to get the first ingredient. Now notice how this is all in order, except for the salt. The salt doesn't really matter. So, over here, I'm going to put in a lot, all right? Not a little bit, I want to put a lot, because at the end of this, you want to see the oil floating on the top. That's very important. You don't put any oil in the spaghetti, you just put all the oil in at the start. And that will make sure that it's nice and tasty at the end. Now, I'm going to stop the video now. You will see what happens when I cook, but it's a bit boring to watch. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the onion in once the heat comes up to a good temperature. How do you know? You hold your hand about 12 inches above the pot, and when you cannot hold your hand there anymore without it getting a bit hot, you know it's ready. Okay? So, we're going to put the onion in. We're going to put a couple of teaspoons of garlic in as well. A couple of teaspoons. If you were using a real garlic, you would probably use 3 or 4 cloves. Depends on whether you like garlic or not. I do. So, let's leave it there now. In a moment, you'll see me stirring the pot in a minute. Okay. Right, so look at the oil. She's getting very hot now because can't hold my hand there, and the gloves are going to melt anyway. So look, I get to the onion, I put a couple of pieces in and make sure that it's hot enough. It is, so I'm putting the onion in. Now normally, what you do now is just stir it around. Now have a look, have a look, have a look. It's good. You'll see that it's all starting to break up into little pieces, and that's because of the way I cut. So always a stir, because you want it to be translucent. Okay, now I'm going to put a couple of teaspoons of garlic in. Get one of the spoon. This is the spoon for the garlic. I'm going to put in one. I'm going to put in two. Two nice big ones. And I keep it stirring. Okay, well that was a bit of fun. You went really fast. It wasn't me doing it. That was the camera. Now, I'm going to put the mince in. Now the mince just go in. This is defrost. Make sure it's defrosted. Don't put in the frozen meat because it's not good. It doesn't cook. So I'm going to chop it up and make sure that it is nice and even. And I'm going to mix it around. I'll be back in a minute, and I put in some salt and some pepper. Hello again, everybody. Now, the meat, she's brown. Look at this. The meat, she's browning. It's lovely. You keep stirring. You must have seen that already. I just keep stirring all the time. Once it's all brown or thereabouts, I'm now going to put in the salt and the pepper. Now, I'm using a Himalaya pink salt. Just a bit of the Nepalese helping out here for the Italian cookie. And it doesn't matter. I like a lot of salt, so you put in the salt like that. And you put in some pepper, like this, and it should be nice for you. Just to give it a bit of a stir. And you can see, look, it's getting brown. That's good. It's good. Now there's a couple of dry big pieces of onion in there. Okay, so I'm not perfect. That doesn't matter. You don't have to be perfect. And I'm now going to put in the next ingredient, which is the organic tomato, and this is the Italian diced tomato, very important to make sure it's diced. So open up as you can, throw the can over there, and just put it in. Just pour it all in. Don't throw the can away yet, because you want to get onto that goodness from that when you put in some water like that. So stir, 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 stir. Just mix it all together, and you can see that it's starting to bubble. Adjust your heat if you want to. You can turn the heat up and down as you cook. That's important because you don't want to burn anything, especially the onion. And you can see that there's a lot of moisture in there, which is a good thing. Okay, so now we go for the next ingredient, which is the tomato paste. Legos, very important. So I open up the can. Now this is a 500 gram one, and I'm going to put in about a half a bottle. Now you might think that's a lot of tomato paste. But remember, you have to have it nice and rich. It's very important to make sure that your pasta sauce is rich. And I know a lot of people don't like that, but trust me, when you try, you go, Tony, here's the right. Now, this recipe is available in Christina Abinet's book. The book that she's now selling on Amazon. It's in Kindle format, and you can buy it. It's only about $4 or something like that. It's got lots of recipes in it. This one is in there, and that means I'm now a celebrity chef, which is fantastic. So I'm famous. You're getting this video for free. Okie dokie. So there was only about a half in here, so I'm just going to make sure that I get it all out, and just keep stirring with the spoon. Notice that I'm using a stainless steel frying pan, and I've got the spoon, so I not scratch anything. But if you go to non-stick pan, be very careful. It's a little bit hot. I'm going to turn it down now. So I just keep stirring, and you think that looks very nice. Okay, last bit of tomato paste in here. Never lick the spoon because you put it back in the thing, you know, it's not good. That's why you have the other small spoon. The small spoon is for tasting. Okay, now, again, don't throw this bottle away yet because it's still got some sauce in there and we're going to do something very tricky later on, alright? So that's a good thing. So, turn the heat down a little bit. It should only simmer. And now simmering means that you need to have a low heat and it should not be bubbling. So, this is a very, 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 very high heat, this one, and I've got it right down. So I'm going to use another burner. And I'm going to use the smaller one. Let's hope that the smaller one light. And it does, as you can see. So turn this right down, put this one on top of this one, put this one, the water, on top of this one, and turn the heat right back up again, and you'll get the lid. And you put the lid on, and if you have a lid that has a hole, make sure you've got the hole open because then it whistles when it's ready. And the good thing about this pot is it fits on this one too, and we'll use that later. So, that one's now boiling away, hopefully. Once it was cold water, no boiling water, just the cold water out of the tap. And I'm not put any salt in yet, because that won't make it boil very well. So, now we're going to stop the video again, everybody. Now I'm going to show you another trick. You have a look at this. This here is, look, this was the same one. I do nothing else. This has been cooking over here. You can see that it is moist, but that moisture will go. You'll need to put a little bit of water in there. But don't just put water from the tap. No use to do that. Okay, I put this much water in the can from the tap, and I'm doing a swishy, 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 swish, like that. Now, that gets poured into this bottle, which has got the other tomato paste. You keep the lid, very important. Put the lid on the bottle and you shake, 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 shake your boot here. Shake, 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 like that. Now you watch this, you watch this. When you pour in here, you got like a bit of tomato puree. Look at that, look at that. Now that can go in the recycle bin and all is good, all is good. So let's give it another stir and we're going to then talk about something which I think is a bit of a sacrilegious. I don't like. Some people like, I don't like. See this thing here? This is called the carrot, all right? People put the carrot in here. And some people put other things in here too, like mushroom, celery. No, you don't. If you want this, you eat it now while you cook, okay? Don't put carrot. Carrot, you don't want to put carrot in this. You spoil the flavor, okay? Now, you may have noticed that I've got the glass of wine. Now, I've been drinking this one. You don't pour it in there because that again, you're talking about all these sickness things that goes around. So we don't do that. But look at this. I have this Shiraz. Shiraz, doesn't matter which one it is. But if you wouldn't drink it, do not put it in there. Don't buy the $5 bottle from the bottle shop. Get a decent one. You know, about $15, $20 bottles enough. So I'm going to put this in here. Now don't make the mistake of pouring the whole bottle in the sauce because it's not good. You watch this. You watch this splash I make. So we start at one end and we just go splash, just like that. So look at that color. It's a beautiful color. And why I use wine? Two reasons. I love wine. It makes it taste good. But also, there's a three reason. You watch the color change. You watch this. Now see how the oil is coming into the top? Now you look at this. Look how beautiful that looks already. This is a real lovely Bolognese sauce. It's the best one you're ever going to have. Don't forget to buy the book of Kindle, of Amazon and Kindle. If you have a Kindle or iPad or one of those other Samsung things that I don't use because I don't like the Samsung, you just You buy it on there, $4. You get lots of recipes, including this one. Okay, we're going to leave it out for a little while, but I'm going to use the uncontaminated spoon. I rinse my spoon as I go, so I don't cross-contaminate. I'm going to put some of the Kalamata olive in here. Now, I think about 6, there's about 4, there's about 5, there's about 7, 9, and a little bit of the juice as well. The juice is beautiful. Make sure you put some of the juice in. And that's all you need to do there. Give that a bit of a stir. Get the olives in there. Make sure they're covered by the sauce. Very important. All right. Now, the next thing I'm going to put in, the bay leaves. See this? Bay leaves. Now, how many do you put in? Depends how big they are. They always look a bit, you know, like they're all dried up. Doesn't matter. Put them in there. They smell beautiful. Put them in here. Mamma mia. That is beautiful. So we put in about, maybe one more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's what we've got in there. I'm going to make sure that this is submerged as well. So make sure that your sauce is covering the olives and covering the bay leaves. And then I'm going to check the water, see how it's going. It's starting to bubble there. It's good. It's good. No need to cover this yet. We will cover this very shortly. So I'll be back soon with some other tips for you, and then our pasta sauce will nearly be finished. You do need to keep it cooking for as long as you possibly can. Even if you can keep it cooking for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But we're doing a quick one tonight. You don't know really how long I've taken to do this because we did that quick thing. Okay. Hello again. Hello. Look at she's a whistle. This means that the water she's a boil. So I can take the lid off of this now, and I'm going to put the lid on here. Now the reason I do that is to keep the steam in. I'm going to turn it off the little holy thing. So no more hole. Look at this. She's a boil. This is where you put the salt in after she's a boil. So I'm going to give it a pretty good lot. Look at this. Okay. Put 1, maybe I put 2. There's a lot of water in there. They say put 5 liter. I don't really put 5 liter, but they say to do that. So that's a good thing. Now, we're going to put the spaghetti in the water. Here's a trick. Here's a trick for you. It's still closed, okay? Not open. And you watch this. Because you see some kids, all right? Some kids, they go, oh, look at the spaghetti, and they're up here, and they put it in the mouth, and it goes all over the place. So what we do is we do this. We put it halfway off the counter, and we do this. Listen. And look, we now cut it in half. How good is that, eh? Pretty good. So, I'm going to put the spaghetti now into the water. So cut this off. I'm going to hold 1/2, okay? 1/2 hold. I'm going to come over here and I throw in the other half. Look at this. This is for next time, okay? If you have more people, you put this in. You know what? I like the leftovers. So I'm going to put it all in, okay? Very important. The other good thing is that once you do this, you know that all the spaghetti is in the water. Now look. We have to stir around so they don't stick together. Let's put a timer on. 8 minutes. 8 minutes. Okay. It's done. So that's now doing it. And we're just going to let this boil. Now while that's happening, I'm going to do this. See this here? This is a basil. Basilico, it's called in Italian. I'm taking the lid off. I'm going to put the lid over here. And I'm going to open up the packet. And as I said before, if you got fresh, you cut, and it looks a bit like this. You watch this. I'm just going to sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. Don't put too much, but that's probably about enough. That go back in the fridge, that lasts another couple of days. That's good. Because I'm going to make spaghetti again. I love spaghetti. So look, stir, 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 stir. That's all good. Let it just go. It's ready really. We could eat it now, but we have to wait for this to happen. So let's get the garlic bread that Christina made earlier. Here it is here, the 3 rolls wrapped up in the foil. I have the oven on. The oven has been on now for a while. It's nearly at the heat, but let's just put it in for the same length of time that it takes for the spaghetti to cook, about 8 minutes. That's all you need. You just need to melt the butter and the garlic. Mwah, it's beautiful. Okay, come over here. See this thing here? If you don't have one of these things, you need to get one of these things. It's called avanti. Avanti. Now, what does avanti mean? Avanti means forward in Italian. Forward because it's very forward-thinking thing. This thing, it grates cheese like you would not believe. So here we go. Over here, 2 pieces of Parmesan cheese. It's a very small block. You think, that's not very much, Tony. Oh, but you watch what happened. I put this in like that, and I start to turn the wheel. Now you look at this. For 4 people, look how quickly this thing is work. Look at this. I'm finished. I'm finished. Look at that. And you know what? If you like the Parmesan cheese, you can eat all the bits and pieces off the edge. It's lovely. But I won't do that because it's not very good. So, that's it for now. And next thing is we'll probably be serving. Hello again everybody. Now it's time to taste. Okay. Look, I'm going to take this thing off because I'm in the kitchen and it's just about to fall off. I don't want it to fall into the food. Hello? This is me. So look, come over here. It looks absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to just have a bit of a taste. Bellissimo. Now the secret ingredient. Clean spoon, white sugar. Watch this. You think, oh my God. 1, oh the spaghetti is ready. We'll check that in a minute. 1, 2. 2 teaspoons, that's all. 2 teaspoons sugar. Turn off the timer. This is for the spaghetti. Okay? So, how do you know if the spaghetti is cooked? What you do, you get a bit like this. You just try and get the bit like this, and you throw it. Look, oh, she not stick. If it stick, no, not ready. Another way, taste. Has to be al dente. Al dente. I see it. It's not ready yet. Just a little tiny bit more. That's okay. This sometimes happen, but the salt content is perfect. Okie dokie. Why have I got this here? Because we might need to do a bit more. I might put a bit of pepper in. Now look, if you want to put chili in, you can do an arrabbiata, which make it nice and hot for people who like chili. But I'm not going to do that because I want to stick to the recipe. Okay, why are we still got the wine here? Because I still drink the wine. It's important. Okay, so why have I got the hat on? So my hair doesn't go in the cooking. It's important to make sure the hair doesn't go in the cooking. Always wear the hat. Okay, next will be serving up, I think. So for now, I'll say goodbye one more time, and I'll see you very shortly. Ciao. Now, look, the spaghetti. Look, she's a cook. Look, you stick to the wall. Very good. I like. I got a lid on here. I had a taste. I did taste. Put a little bit more pepper in. Put a little bit more salt in. No more sugar. Doesn't need any more sugar. Very nice. Okay, we're gonna strain now. So this is important. We take this. We bring it over here to the sink. We have our colander there, strainer, whatever you want to call it, and we do this. Lots of spaghetti there for 4 people. I hope you're hungry. Very good. Give it a bit of a shake. Get all the moisture out, get all the moisture out, and put it back in the pot. Notice I have the pot on wood, like that, okay? Now, come over here, watch this. This thing here is ready. Are you ready for the bigger reveal? Here we go. Oh, look. See how the oil all come to the top? It is beautiful. It is ready to eat. So, I turn all this off, make sure off. Very good. Now, bring this over here. Put it next to the pasta, like that. I'm going to get a spoon. One of these ones. Okay, one of these spoons. Watch this. You get the sauce like this. You try and get the moisture off of the top. It doesn't matter if you get the meat. You put it in the pasta sauce. You don't put it all in there. You just put in enough to make it orange. So look, put it in. Now, I get this. Everybody should have one of these. You gotta have one of these. Watch. You watch the color change. It changes to orange. It is beautiful. This way, you know that the spaghetti sauce all over the spaghetti. And we're ready to go. So, some people like to put the sauce in first. I have some plates here. I'm cooking for 4 people, but there's only 3 of us here tonight. So, we put a little bit down the bottom. Put a little bit down on the bottom of each plate. You have as much as you want. It is, look at the richness of that sauce. It is beautiful. Look at that. Now, put in your pasta. How much you want. You serve up the people. This is the best part to cook. When you serve the people, it's important. Oh, I have a cat. I have a cat at my feet. Okie dokie. Nearly ready. Bit more sauce on the top, and then we're ready to eat. So look how much is left. Oh, let me try. Beautiful. Look how much is left. This is for tomorrow lunch. Look at that. You could feed another army of people. Okie dokie. More sauce on the top. If you don't like olives or you don't like certain things, you don't have to put them in. Don't eat the bay leaves. Don't take the bay leaves out. That's just there for making it the flavor nice. You don't eat the bay leaves. Very important. Watch this. Look at this. Look how thick and rich that is. And the last thing we do, once we just spoon this last piece in, like that. I make a bit of a mess. But look at the kitchen. Look at this. Look. All clean. You clean up as you go. It's very important. All good. Look at that. A bit more over here. A bit more here. And finally, we get to the Parmesan cheese. Now, I know there's only a couple here that like the Parmesan cheese. Not everybody like the Parmesan cheese. You put the Parmesan cheese on the top. You get your garlic bread out of the oven, which is now done. And that is Tony's Spaghetti Bolognese. So, you buy the book from Amazon Kindle. Christina Abnett, A-B-N-E-T-T. It's called I Wish You Could Fly, or something like that. Tinkering with food. You can fly tinkering with the food. Costs $4 on Kindle. Go and buy it. This recipe is in there. Thanks guys, that was fun. All good. See you later.